Hey everybody, Tim here with tonight's episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 21, Hollow Pursuits. Well, probably one of my favorite episodes because it introduces one of my favorite characters. I got 3 words for you. Lieutenant Reginald Barclay, or Broccoli. Like, I don't know, I've always really enjoyed Barclay. Now I'm going to get messed up on it the whole time. Like, even as a little kid, I remember watching this episode with my dad, and I always really liked him. And he's kind of an infamous character, because there's been a lot of shout-outs that Barclay is supposed to be, like, the persona of the Trekkies or the Star Trek fans, because he's very socially awkward, he's an introvert, and the producers and the writers and everything are like, no, we just wanted a weird dude, and they made him. And I don't know, maybe because I am kind of an introvert, I just love this character. I think he's great. And it's weird because anytime I think of Barclay, I think of The Next Generation, which technically he was in 5 episodes of the series from The Next Generation, but he was in 6 of Voyager. So technically he's a little bit more of Voyager. But if you count First Contact, I guess it's basically even 6 and 6, but whatever. He's a great character. I really enjoy him. He's played by the amazing Dwight Schultz, who at this point, this episode came out in like 1990, 1991, so the A-Team had already completed its run, so he's already a well-known, established actor. So it was kind of great to see him as this guest star role. And I love the opening scene, like the teaser scene before the credits, where he's just a badass, and he's like pinning Riker to the counter and talking to Guinan, and he's like, fuck all of you. Like, he obviously doesn't say that. But he's such a great character, and then they page him to engineering, and he starts stuttering, and he just becomes the awkward Barclay that we know. I really like this character. I think this is a really good introduction episode. Most of us, when we think of Barclay, probably think of the one where he, like, mutates and stuff. But I don't know. I think this is a great one. This also deals with holodeck addiction, which they blatantly reference the Geordi one, where he created Leia Brahms, I think was her name, the engineer or the creator of the Enterprise warp, whatever. But I love that they talk about holodeck addiction. So in our society today, addiction is a real thing. Like, whether it be drugs, whether it be porn, whether it be anything, like, addiction is a real problem with today's society. And I like how Star Trek doesn't even ignore that. And because they always talk about how we're a better people now than we used to be. And then you watch some of these episodes and you're like, nah, you guys are just as messed up as we are. And they have a holodeck addiction where you start creating these people that you know, and you create the scenarios that you wish could happen. And I think it's a really important type of episode. If this episode was made now, I feel like it would have, like, kind of like what Discovery's doing, it would have pushed it even more in your face. Whereas this episode is, my TV's right there, that's why I'm referencing, sorry. Whereas this episode right here kind of draws it down, because this is TV, this is 1990 when this is on TV, and you can't really be that blatant. But I think they do a good job with what they can. And I like how they do talk about addiction. And they even say the word addiction. Kind of like the Symbiosis episode that I did with my husband, where it's all about drug addiction. Like, they're very upfront, and it's blatant that this is a real problem. And I like how they handle it by continuously telling Barclay, you're not alone, and we can help you. So it's just a great episode in general. And I like the name Reginald. Like, if I ever had a kid, like, my husband would never let me do it, but I would totally name my kid Reginald. He's right there shaking his head. I don't know, Reginald. But anyways, I love this episode. I'm super excited. Dwight Schultz, unfortunately, doesn't come back until, like, next season. But if you guys have seen this one, go ahead, let me know what you think about Barclay. Let me know what you think about Dwight Schultz. He's a badass actor. Go ahead, let me know. Let me know what you guys think about the holodeck addiction. Thank you guys so much for all the YouTube subscriptions and the comments and the likes. And my mailbox, message box, whatever, is blowing up because all of you guys want to talk to me. Thank you guys so much. I reply whenever I can. I will see you guys next time for The Most Toys.